Hi guys, welcome. It is August and it is prime time harvest season for the garden. And it is time to start preserving all that abundance. For 2024, I'm going to be joining the Three Rivers Homestead Every Bit Counts Challenge. And within that challenge, what you do is every day through the month of August, you're going to preserve something. It could be a little something, it could be a huge project. I'll be doing a bit of both and I'll be sharing that with you along the way. I'd like to welcome you to my backyard Kentucky homestead, and my name is Kim. And let me show you what I've done over the last week. And then I'm going to share with you my plans going forward for the month. So let's take a look. So the one canning project that I've done so far for this year is green beans. I've got 4 or 5 pints of green beans. I had 5, but one didn't seal. But we pressure can these, so really good. So these will go on the pantry shelf, and we will have green beans whenever we want them. And the cool thing about canning, well, I like freezer better. It doesn't take up space in the freezer. So I harvested a lot of garlic. I was a little over 240 heads of garlic. Some of it was a little bit too far beyond harvest time. Some of it didn't grow right. So I had quite a bit that I needed to go ahead and process. So I chopped it up and I peeled it, put it in the food processor, chopped it up, put it in a freeze dryer. I have a whole pint homemade garlic powder. Very cool. One PSA though, don't peel garlic without gloves on. You will literally chemical burn your fingers. Ask me how I know. So seriously, garlic does have a substance within it that will literally give you a chemical burn if you have too much exposure to it. I was not aware of that. My fingers burned for hours after I finished, and then about a week later, they started peeling. And on some of my, pretty much all my fingers on my left hand, some on my right hand, peeled. I lost up to 2 layers of skin. It was pretty uncomfortable and very, very painful when it happened. Fortunately, I still do have my fingerprints, so that's good. I am growing quite a bit of celery, so I went ahead and picked a bunch of it. And this is just freeze-dried whole. Washed it, freeze-dried it, and have it in here. So this will be good to go throw in soups. I can go ahead and crush this up. I think I'm going to try to make some celery salt later. Mix this with some Himalayan salt and see how that goes. So I've got a bunch more celery out there I'm going to be picking and harvesting, and probably more freeze-dried. So then I also have a whole bunch of basil. I actually air-dried this. I didn't care for the texture of the freeze-dry last year. So this year I decided to air dry it. So this is very, very dry, and when I need it, I can break it up to whatever form I want. I also have several jars of okra. It's not quite full. Got a little pint, and then another quart, and I got more on the way. Got some in the freeze dryer right now. So with the okra, I have freeze dried this, and if you like fried okra and you have access to a freeze dryer, give this a try. It's really, really good. It's just like fried okra, only you don't have the oil or the breading. So really crunchy snack, really healthy. I was really excited about this. What I've done with this in the past was that I threw it in soups, stews. I made burgoo, Kentucky burgoo. I'll have a video on that coming up. So it makes a really good addition to any chili or soup or stew. So the rest of what I have for you today are my freeze-dried peppers. I've got sweet peppers, hot peppers, jalapenos, and thyme. I'm going to be using them in a variety of different ways. Some will be crushed up and made into like a pepper powder. Some of them will just go into chilies and stews. And some of them can just be thrown into taco meat, make fajitas or what have you. So these are my sweet peppers. They're like a Varsky and bell peppers. We have some banana peppers. Got some Cia Viejo peppers. Just a few itty bitty Habano peppers. Whole bunch of shishito peppers. My Anaheim chili. I wanted to can these like you would so that they were the wet texture, but I'm not getting enough at any one time. I think I need to have far more plants than what I've currently got. So I'm going to go ahead and just freeze dry these and seal them up in the mason jars. And that way I can use them however I want to. So I've got a whole quart of jalapenos ready for some salsa. So the last thing I have is a mixture of hot peppers that I'm grinding down. I think I'm going to make either a hot pepper salt or just a hot pepper powder that I can add to Christmas gifts. Well, to bottle it up and give it as a Christmas gift. I'm not going to surprise people. But I'm going to go ahead and make Christmas gifts for people who like hot pepper stuff. And then you can just sprinkle this over your food without whatever you're doing. So I'm going to try that. I haven't done that before, but it should work. What I will say is if you are freeze drying things, like this is not good for canning purposes. This will not preserve food long term through a regular canning process. But with short term freeze dried food, this is a really, really good, great way to vacuum seal these containers. And you can even reuse old lids, so it makes it very economical. Mylar bags are probably a better choice for freeze drying for very long term, but for 6 months to a year, mason jars, you can see what's in there. Makes a crinkly noise. It's kind of fun. But highly recommend. I will link this down below where I got it off Amazon, but it works really, really well. I've had a couple of others that I've tried that just didn't work. Usually when they let go of the seal, it pulls the lid off. This one seems to pressurize, vacuum seal it, and then when it releases, it depressurizes so it has more space and it's not yanking that lid off. So, highly recommend it. I don't think I've had one fail that I've used with. So to wrap this up, very short video, I'm going to be, as I said, I'm going to be canning, freeze drying, dehydrating, freezing, and I'm going to try fermenting this year. So please stay with me, watch for the videos. I will have more coming up, and I want to thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful day.